What's going on, gamers? Today we have another 100% guide for a fantastic indie game called Suicide Guy The Lost Dreams. Now, huge thanks to Chubby Pixel for the game code, and we'll be doing a complete walkthrough guide for this, and by the end of this video you'll have every possible achievement or trophy associated with the game. So let's not waste any time and jump straight into it. So whenever you first jump into the game, you'll find yourself in a cave, and this is going to be your tutorial level in case you've never played any of the games in the series. And for those of you that don't know, the whole point of the game is to find a way to hurt yourself so that you wake up from your dreams and catch your beer before you drop it as you fall asleep on the couch. So in this level, you'll learn how to jump, clamber, and use objects. Your first obstacle will be doors that require statues pointing towards them. All you have to do is move them to the right position in order to open the doors. And around the third door, you're going to find a slingshot that can be used to move the statue that you cannot reach on foot. After you get past this third part, use the opening in the cave to dive headfirst towards the ground and wake yourself up. And this is where you're going to get your first achievement for just waking yourself up once. Whenever you do wake up, you'll find that you're still asleep, and the words "not again" will pop up on screen. Now this is going to be your hub area for each of the dreams that you have to defeat, and you will not fully wake up until you beat each one of these levels. So let's get started with level 1. So the first thing that we should let you know is that there is a hidden statue in each one of the levels, and these are going to be required if you want to 100% the game, so keep an eye out, but don't worry, I've got you covered. So to start this level out, you're going to want to turn left and head up the ladder. Once you're up there, turn on the valve. And when you return from the ladder area, you'll see another valve close to you. Leave this one off for now and instead turn on the smaller valve next to the open pipe on the left. After that, just follow the left wall and go all the way around the back until you find a lever on a small pedestal. Go ahead and flip that lever. After that, climb the ladder to the right of the lever and turn the valve on up there. Whenever you look back at the first pipe that we just talked about, it should be shaking because it's built up with pressure. Now head back down and turn on the bigger valve that we left at the beginning, and this will cause the water to shoot out of the main pipe and break the wall behind you. And in this hidden area, you're going to find a wrench and your first statue. Alright, so now that you've got the wrench, it's time to move all the way to the other side of the room. You can start by turning off the valve that caused the wall to fall. Now head back to the farthest side of the room and turn on the small valve, and whenever you do, you'll see that there's a leak. This is what the wrench is going to be used for. Use the wrench to fix this leak. Now head back to where the lever is and turn on the water with the valve near the ladder. After that, flip the lever once more, and this should build up pressure to the other pipe. Lastly, go stand in front of the pipe and turn on the final valve, and this will blast you with sewage and drown you. And this is going to give you 2 more achievements. It'll give you the Get Water Pressured achievement as well as collect 1 statue. Now I like to give each level its own title since they don't actually have titles, so if you come up with any better names, let me know and put them in the comments. But I call level 2 Sawdust. First, head all the way to the other side of the level and look for a tree stump near an unfinished building. Climb that building to find your second statue. Now I actually had some trouble with this one because I wasn't really paying attention, but this one should be fairly quick to beat. All you have to do is drag the box with the button on it near where the logs fall if they've been cut. Then climb up the conveyor belt and push a log off the side. This will push the button, which will move the belt forward and throw you into the blades, which definitely wakes you up. After that, we can move on to level 3. Now let me know if you guys agree with this or not, but is this not straight up a pelican from Halo? So I just call this level the Halo level. Now the first thing that you should do is look inside the pelican and you'll find a hammer. Go ahead and pick it up now or later, it's up to you. Just know that you will have to use the hammer in order to pass this level. Next, head over to the purple archway, and under it is where you're going to find your third statue. Now go back to the hammer and start smashing some of those alien eggs. There should be around 4 in total, and once you found all 4 and smashed them, the final stronger egg will hatch towards the end of the level. just head up the ledge and jump onto the egg and smash the growing alien arm. This will upset the mother and she will come to end you. Now if you complete this level the right way, this will unlock achievement number 4, and it's simply called Destroy an Alien Egg. Now this is going to bring us on to level 4, which I call the Bounce House. In order to pass this level, you will need to use the stuffed animals in order to super jump to hard to reach areas. Now before you make your journey all the way to the top, be sure to check out one of the houses. This is where you're going to find the 4th statue. Once you have the statue in hand, find your way to the very top and use the clouds as platforms to bounce yourself to the sun and burn up to wake up out of this dream. You'll also unlock the achievement, Make a Super Jump on Pillows. Level 5 is called the Mummy, and before you go into the temple, work your way all the way around in order to find the statue at the back of the temple. Alright, so this level is pretty simple to solve. Work your way to the center room and move the block towards the center so that it lines up with the coffin. Then work your way up and find a piece of wood to jam it into the coffin. And lastly, go back up to the top level and dive onto the board to wake the mummy up. Then just give the guy a huge hug and he'll show you how much he really loves you. After doing this, you should unlock the achievement for finding 5 statues. On to level 6, and this is going to take place on a playground, which is a weird place for a guy with no kids drinking alcohol on a couch to be. But the object of this level is to take yourself out by drowning in quicksand. Before you can do that though, you have to make the quicksand yourself. And by the way, whatever happened to quicksand, guys? As a kid we were brought up to believe that quicksand was everywhere and it was super dangerous, and I've never come across it once. I don't even know if it's a real thing. Maybe the Bugs Bunny cartoons were all wrong. Anyways, there's a few places that you can pick up sand to throw into the sandbox, and they are starting with the sand nearest the sandbox. Obviously just toss that in. Then you can use the seesaw to get the sand near the balloons, underneath the merry-go-round, at the hopscotch area, also at the top of the jungle gym near the slide, and don't forget to go down the slide as this is also another achievement. And lastly, inside the janitor's office around the backside of the school. Also at the backside of the school is where you'll find the statue next to a bench, so be sure to pick that up as well. And lastly, take your bucket and fill it up with water. The water hose can be found near the front door. All you have to do is fill up the bucket, drop it into the sand, and then jump into it yourself to be taken out by quicksand. Level 7 is the arcade, and obviously it takes place in an arcade. The first thing that you should do here is turn to the right and go towards the pool table. This is going to be where you find your next statue. After you collect the statue, you're ready to start the actual level. All you have to do here is play a basic game of Pac-Man, and in order to make things easier on yourself, you can climb into the level and move all the pellets that you're supposed to eat anywhere on the map. I suggest placing them all in one close cluster. That way you get bigger, easier, and then you can start the game. The more pellets that Pac-Man eats, the bigger it becomes, and eventually it'll be so big that it jumps right out of the arcade, and at that point you can just walk into its path and be eaten, marking the end of the level. Now after you pass this level, you will unlock achievement number 8, which is called Get Killed by Him. Level number 8 is the server room. Your objective here is to destroy the servers, making it so hot that they overheat, and so do you. Now the first thing you should obviously do is collect the statue. It can be found on one of the back walls near a server, so just look around the back walls. You really can't miss this one. Now it's time to start messing things up. So the first thing that you need to do is find a fire extinguisher and clog up the AC vents in the server room itself. All you have to do is look up and throw some suds at the vents to get this done. Next, you can take those same fire extinguishers from the first floor, take them upstairs using the ladders, and jam the fire extinguishers into the floor fans, which will cause them to stop circulating air into the server room. And last, you also have to move larger fans on the second floor in front of the cold air vents. So go ahead and do that. That way there's no more air circulation, no more cool air going into the server room, and it starts to heat up at that point. So then the next thing that you need to do is find a sticky note. It took me forever to find this, even though it's super easy to find. So there's a 10x sticky note that's located just behind the server computer, and make sure you stick that to the green button. This is going to allow you to make 10 times as many copies, and because of the heat, it will overload the servers and make it extremely hot, which causes you to pass out and pass the level. After you're done with this level, you will unlock the achievement called Overload Server. Level 9 I just call Godzilla because it's got Godzilla in it, even though that's probably not the name that we should be using, you know, for copyright purposes. But all you have to do in this level is take a few shots at the big lizard, and in order to get out of this level though, you'll want to do a few things first. First, break down the wall that's behind you and explore the back area to collect your next statue, which can be found on the crashed plane. After that, move forward to collect a car jack that can be found under a broken down car. Bring the car jack back to the tank in the level to level it out. Next, load up a missile and take your first shot at Godzilla. If you miss, you guys don't have to worry, you can use other things like the cement blocks that are located around the level. However, if you don't want to miss out on an achievement like I did, be sure to shoot the radio at Godzilla as well. Even if you don't hit Godzilla, just make sure you shoot the radio out of the tank. And then after that, make sure you hit the lizard a few more times to end the level. Now once you finish this level, you should get the achievement called Shoot This with Cannon, and that should be your 10th achievement. Next up, we got level 10, which is all about fairy tales. First, let's collect the statue. Of course, it can be found along the stream, so just look to the water, you'll be able to find it, no problem. Now with that out of the way, your only job here is to destroy and burn every fairy tale character in the level. Now if you don't want to miss out on another achievement, make sure to burn multiple characters or items at the same time. Here you'll find creatures like the tortoise and the hare, Little Red Riding Hood's items, the frog prince, and more. Now after burning everything, the entire world will catch on fire and you will suffocate. So after completing this level, you'll unlock both the burn many items at once achievement if you burned many items at once, and you'll also get the achievement for collecting 10 statues. Level 11 is the ship, and I have to be honest here guys, you're going to be on your own on this one. This is a physics based, timing based level, which took me way too long to finish. Now you will have to move the pirate hat in order to find the key to get out of the first area, and this is going to be important later because it does unlock an achievement. But other than that, I'm not going to be able to help you here. What I can say is that you do use the cannons to rock the ship back and forth, and then you just time your way past a few doors in order to get to the upper deck. Now whenever you do get to the upper deck, don't forget to get the statue near the ship's steering wheel. I don't know what that thing is called, but you know what I'm talking about. And then after that, you can just walk the plank to end the level. Now whenever you do complete this level, this is going to unlock achievement 13, and that is going to be play as a pirate. So again, that's the first part where you have to move the cap in order to find the key. You put that cap on, therefore you're playing as a pirate. Level 12 is basically a Tetris level, which I like. Now first things first, like always, make sure you find the statue here behind the wall. Just go behind the Tetris area and you'll find the statue. After that, use the Tetris blocks to create lines that will be lasered and then destroyed. And then on the few last lines, you will have to use items to create the line, so use those boulders and pipes. And finally, you'll have to use your own body to complete the last line and be zapped to finish the level. Level 13 is the Carnival, and this one does get a little bit complicated, but first things first, grab the statue near the bumper cars. That's the first thing that you should do. Now with that out of the way, head towards the center of the level and click the huge button which powers all the rides. First, head back to the bumper cars and crash into the other one. Next, take a ride on the swings and collect the plunger gun as you swing past it. Then head to the roller coaster and use the gun to turn the power off again. Push the roller coaster all the way until you get past the arrow and start moving the coaster to the right. Next, use the plunger gun once again to turn the power back on. Jump into the car and start your ride on the new course, and you will eventually come to a loop and the cart will start to slow down. Use this time to use your plunger gun one more time to shoot the power and shut it off, and this will cause you to fall out of the roller coaster and end the level. Now whenever you crash the bumper cars, that's going to give you another achievement that should be achievement number 14, called Crash with the Bumper Car. Next we have level 14, which is the temple. Now first things first, turn around and head in the opposite direction of the temple and look a little to your left to find the final statue. You can now head into the temple and be sure to break the vases as you enter. Then push forward into the temple and don't worry about any of the traps, they're not going to hurt you at all. Eventually you will find a whip though, and use the whip along the way to break down anything and everything that you can. This will eventually weaken the structure of the temple, and if you do it correctly, by the time you reach the golden statue, the temple will collapse on you and it will end. Completing this level will unlock achievement number 15 and 16, which is break the vase and collect the last statue. Now after you finish the temple, you will finally power up the game hub, which is where all the levels have been located the entire time that you've been playing the game. Walk into the beam and finally wake up from your dream inception. After that, it's going to show a short cutscene as well as some of the game credits, and after you're done, you're going to unlock achievement number 17, which is earned by simply completing the game. After that, you'll get a short little thank you for playing the game, and it says that you will have unlocked a few extra levels. You'll also notice that there's one achievement remaining, and you earn this achievement by completing the extra level, so let's jump straight into that. Extra level number 1 is the mouse maze. In order to complete this level, you will have to use your mind control and control a rat to make it to the end of the level, kind of like Ratatouille, maybe? I don't actually know, I never saw that movie. But anyhow, you make it to the end of the level, you light a fuse to cook yourself and wake yourself up, and that's the end of the level. After that, we have extra level 2, which I call Untitled Portal game. This is kind of a cross between Untitled Goose Game and Portal, maybe? The first thing you have to do here is to find the golden bell inside the small house, then step on the red button to bring down a hook, and this will allow you to hook the bell to it, and the goose will go and pull the bell, which will make the level break, and it kind of shows its true form. It turns out that you're in like a space test lab. After chasing the goose in the spaceship, you will come across a central command console. Flipping the lever will show that there is no energy and you must find a new power source. You'll come across a reserve fuel button, but whenever you press it, the goose will take off with the fuel, and eventually the goose will come to a space jettison. In order to activate it, you must place a companion cube on the red button, and now you can either follow the goose all the way around the ship again, or run in the opposite direction and lure the goose back to the jettison. Once it gets too close, it'll get stuck and you can take the fuel and head back to the command center. This will then allow you to open the decompression chamber and shoot yourself out into space and in the level. Extra level 3 is all about consumerism, and this one is a weird level. It did take me a while to figure this one out, so just follow along as best you can. First thing you're going to want to do is head over to the burger shop and buy enough burgers that the skyscraper with the burger branding begins to start leaning over. After that, head over to the phone shop and buy a phone, and as soon as you do, turn around and buy the next phone. Keep on buying phones until you reach the Mega XXL phone. And don't buy any more phones after that, otherwise you'll have to restart the phone process all over again. With the Mega XXL phone in your hand, continue to buy burgers. Now head over to the Pop Shop and place the XXL phone on where the QR code is located, and this will continually allow you to buy burgers and soda pop at the same time. And at this point, the building should start leaning over and shifting, and the neon soda sign will start to fill up. You'll also notice some blocks in the background start moving. So grab a few cars and park them in between all the signs so that you can easily make a platforming area for you to jump from block to block. Take a few lifts up and make your way to the roof near the soda sign. Interact with the soda sign cap, and this will cause everything to implode on itself and end the level. Completing this level will unlock the complete all extra levels achievement, and you will have every single achievement in this game. Now if you guys found this guide helpful, please consider subscribing and be sure to check out more indie games that we've covered. This allows me to continue making guides like this, and your support means the world to me. Now I want to thank you guys for hanging out. This was one of the longer videos that I've made, and as always, I will see you on the next video.